You're eventually going to need to think through and make the investment in all the tools a professional will need. What's a vlogger kid? Being a guest on a podcast requires you to be speaking to the audience like you're having a conversation with a sixth grader. Be raw and real. Keep them tight and succinct. Don't skip the juicy parts of a great story. People love it when you're authentically you. But also don't go on and on and on and on and repeat the same thing over and over and over.
Welcome to the Thought Leader Revolution with Nikki Ballou. Join the revolution. There's never been a better time in history to speak your truth, find your freedom, and make your fortune. Each week, we interview the world's top thought leaders and learn the secrets of how they built a 6 to 7 figure practice. This episode has been brought to you by eCircleAcademy.com, the proven system to add 6 to 7 figures a year to your thought leader practice.
Welcome to the exciting episode of the podcast, The Thought Leader Revolution. I'm your host, Nikki Ballou. And boy, do we have another exciting Thought Leader Nuggets episode for you today. And today's episode is about teaching you some of the insider secrets, the tools of the trade, what you need to do to come across as an A-list podcast guest. I got to tell you, one of my favorite leaders of all time is Margaret Thatcher. She has been ranked as the number 2 prime minister of all time in the UK behind the great Winston Churchill. And she said, don't follow the crowd, let the crowd follow you. Wise words for an A-lister to follow. So congratulations. You have cracked the code and you're now getting booked on podcasts as a guest. Way to go. Well done. But if you want to continue to be one of those sought-after podcast guests, you need to invest in a professional guesting setup. You don't need to start your guesting journey by investing in all these tools, but if you plan on being a guest on lots of shows for the long haul, you're eventually going to need to think through and make the investment in all the tools a professional will need. The big 4 you're going to need to invest in are a professional microphone, a professional headset, a camera, and good lighting. The most important investment for you to start with is in a microphone. Every podcaster and podcast guester worth his salt has a microphone, and you should have one too. I recommend you use a laptop for your podcasting appearances, not a phone. If you don't have a laptop and investing in one is not an immediate option, then the first thing that I recommend you invest in is a vlogger kit. What's a vlogger kit? It's a relatively inexpensive short-term solution which is going to take your level of professionalism up from 90% of the other podcast guests. It includes an LED ring light, a tripod, a clip-on microphone, and a phone mount. And these are all available at your local electronics retailer or on Amazon or Costco, and you can get a great setup for under $150. Now, once you're in a position to invest in a laptop, or if you already have one, then I recommend that you first get yourself a top-notch microphone, something like a Blue Yeti or a Shure SM7B. These are top-notch professional level microphones. Okay? I think Joe Rogan uses the Shure microphone. So that should tell you everything you need to know about how good it is. Next, you want to get yourself a great headset like a Bose or a Skullcandy. Those are really important too. And then you should get yourself a fantastic camera like a Canon M50 Mark II with like a 20mm lens. And finally, you should get yourself a great ring light, both a desktop and a floor top model with multiple settings. Okay, so I've got a cheat sheet that I've created for you for podcast guesting. And I'm going to share it with you right now. Number 1, get yourself a professional mic and a headset. My preferred one is the Blue Yeti, which is available on Amazon or Costco. Number 2, being a guest on a podcast requires you to be speaking to the audience like you're having a conversation with a sixth grader. So keep the language simple and relatable. 3, tell stories. The juicier, the better. Facts tell, but stories sell. You're selling yourself as an expert to the audience, so think about and bring out your best stories. 4, be raw and real. Share your take on the issues being discussed. People love it when you're authentically you. 5, close the door. Put a note on the door saying that you're recording an interview and should not be disturbed. 6, I suggest you wear vibrant, solid colors like red, green, black, burgundy, deep pink, blue, etc. Avoid distracting and loud clothes. Okay? You got to get clear on what to wear in a video interview. There's a great resource, thebalancesmb.com. Thebalancesmb.com. 7, get yourself into a peak energy state before the interview. Do some push-ups or jumping jacks just to get your energy elevated. If it's going to be helpful to you, then follow along with somebody doing it on video. Most interviews go anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes to an hour. Make sure you have a sense of how long your answers are depending on how long the interview is. Keep them tight and succinct. Don't skip the juicy parts of a great story, but also don't go on and on and on and on and repeat the same thing over and over and over. 9, be ready with your call to action. How do you want the audience members to contact you if they're so inclined? 10, make sure you got good lighting, great lighting. Most podcasts these days are video and audio, and I want you to present yourself in the best light. You can purchase background lighting on Amazon or Costco. And you can go on YouTube, and there's some great videos on how to create good lighting for video. And that's my podcast guesting tip sheet. Hope you found it valuable. If you've got a friend who's going on a lot of shows, share this with them. It'll be helpful to them. And do me a favor, give us a like, give us a rating, give us a review. This is going to make sure the algorithm has more people that need to see this, see it. Until next time, goodbye.
This episode has been brought to you by eCircleAcademy.com, the proven system to add 6 to 7 figures a year to your thought leader practice.